Kylie Jenner, who just tweeted or posted on Instagram saying, stop making Instagram look like TikTok.
That's right. I actually thought you did that on purpose because we were just talking about it. That was incredible
Totally
timing.
unplanned.
That's right. Kylie Jenner, obviously huge on Instagram.
Yeah.
Said, stop trying to make Instagram look like TikTok. We just want to see, you know, our friends and family on this app. This is not what this is for. You might remember a few years ago, I believe it was her, she tweeted about Snap and the redesign at Snap, sent the stock down.
Plummeting.
That's right. And so she has good timing. I think Facebook's earnings are in 2 days. So, you know, she's getting her voice out early.
So, Liz, are all of these efforts by Meta to make Facebook and Instagram more like TikTok, is this the right direction, or should they be working to differentiate Instagram and Facebook from TikTok?
Well, I always say that TikTok is the best place for views and the worst place to build a sustained reoccurring audience, right? And Instagram's identity for so long was as the place for building a dedicated audience that wasn't as susceptible to virality or outside forces in general, right? You can't even share links on the platform. So if Reels really does go all in for like a TikTok For You page, like Feed For You is what we call the TikTok feed, which essentially devalues followers, I think that's a pretty big departure from them identity-wise, and I'm really curious to see how that plays out.
So I wonder, Kurt, you know, on that note, should Instagram be leaning into more of the things that make Instagram great rather than just, some say, copy TikTok?
Right. Well, on the one hand, that's a way to kind of keep your place in this world, right? If everyone's rushing towards the same spot, you know, they're kind of giving that up. On the other hand, clearly what they're seeing behind the scenes is motivating this, right? And so if you're Instagram, and Liz would know this, you know, better than I would, but if you're Instagram and you're seeing people maybe leave or spend more time somewhere else, the reality is Facebook is always just chasing that attention, right? And so that's what's going to happen. But you're right, maybe long term, keeping that foothold kind of with friends and family would be a smarter play.
Given that you worked at Instagram for so many years, Liz, is that what's happening internally? Are they watching TikTok and just thinking about how to keep up?
Well, I can't speak to what's happening internally there right now, but it reminds me a bit of Stories launch, to be honest, which I was there for. I mean, you know, there was a lot of dialogue and people thinking it wasn't going to be successful, and actually there was a huge market for people who that format was perfect for, but were not necessarily using Snapchat. And I do think we think of TikTok as pretty ubiquitous, but there is a market for people who love that format and both creating and consuming content in that format who might not necessarily get on TikTok. So there is an opportunity area there, of course.
What is the value proposition to creators at this point? You know, if you're a creator, where do you decide to invest your time, given the options right now?
Really depends on what your goal is and what type of content you want to create. But I do think for younger people in general, like I do believe in adapting to what young people want. And, you know, mobile video tools, really good mobile video editing tools. I think it's TikTok's very underrated for how good their easy and good their mobile video editing tools were when they launched. Has forced us all, like every platform, to sort of up their game there, and that's a net good, right? Giving young people the tools that they want and already are using to be able to communicate across more platforms. A good thing. I think competition's a really good thing among social platforms. It might be an unpopular opinion, but it's great for TikTok to have some competition.
And Kurt, there's obviously a competition for eyeballs and attention, but there's competition for creators. You know, talk to us about how that competition is playing out. I mean, part of what has made TikTok so successful is the music, which is what these new changes at Meta are geared towards.
Right, and because that drives culture, right? Those are the types of songs that people want to see, to pair that with your video. But also, I mean, let's be real, this all also comes down to business, right? If you're a creator, where can you not only get the most views, but where can you monetize those views? And that's why YouTube has historically been such a great place for creators, better than Facebook for video, because it's easier to make money there, right? We saw Vine. Vine was great. Vine was TikTok before it was TikTok.
Yeah.
There wasn't a great way for any creators to make money on Vine, and they went to other places, right? And so I really think it's going to come down to which platform can give people a chance to make a living off of this.
There's a whole graveyard of these social media platforms.
There are.
Liz, I wonder what you make of Kylie Jenner's comments. I mean, Kurt brought up, the Kylie curse. Snap, some people think Snap has never been the same since what Kylie Jenner said about Snap. But what do you think about this idea that at least one celebrity power user doesn't want Instagram to look more like TikTok and maybe wants Instagram to be Instagram?
I mean, I think anybody whose business, which hers largely is, Instagram in a way that it wasn't even wasn't even the same on TikTok, is predicated on having this audience that you develop, and having followers be really, really key in that main feed is going to be resistant to this, and resistant to change in general, right? Us older generations, we are. This is a play that's really catering. It seems like it's catering to an audience that prefers a different format. Something that I think, we're talking about music rights and sound, like something that also another very underrated thing about TikTok when it launched actually is Musical.ly, right, which was the first incarnation of TikTok that was really popular with tweens, was how central sound was to the platform, right? Like music, lip syncing. The very first foundational communities on that platform were dancers, and there's no surprise there that was the case. Their biggest stars came out of dancing, and when video became important on Facebook and Instagram, sound was a feature, right? Not the center of their video tools. So I think that's been a defining difference between TikTok and these other platforms, and it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, this music rights platform will be expanded to Reels soon and close that gap a little.
Quickly, Kurt, what has Facebook said in response to the accusations that it's copying rather than developing its own?
It's not shy. It's not shy about this. I spoke to them when they did the newsfeed changes last week, and I said, like, people are going to identify that you're copying TikTok, and they were kind of like, these are good ideas, right? Same thing they said when stories came out. They said simply, this is a good idea.